Hey guys, Capper here. Welcome back. So this is going to be a different episode. We're going to talk about equipment. If you're a regular follower, you know that I've been talking about trying to get new track pads or new chains and tracks for the John Deere 655 because they are very severely worn. So first of all, let me give a shout out. I've been doing a lot of homework on this. First of all, let me give a shout out to a couple of viewers, as you can see here. So Jeff Selcho, anyways, he said, hey, you should try Clint over at CNC Equipment in Nashville, Indiana. He's got a YouTube channel and they do a lot of this stuff. So I checked out his YouTube channel, cool videos. So this is the CNC channel out of Nashville, Indiana. I did watch this whole video. It was really interesting. 45 minutes long, but anyways, cool channel. They do a lot of cool stuff on big equipment, but I did contact them to talk about options here. And so I said, well, let's price out what it would be new. So a new set of basically tracks and pads with the sprockets and that is almost 12,000 bucks. That would be shipped to them. So if I had them do the whole thing, that doesn't include labor. They couldn't really give me a specific labor quote. It's $175 an hour, which is the same as the place here in Rolla, Missouri. Now they probably have more experience, I would think, over at CNC. But anyways, and in addition to that, having my machine shipped over there, he gave me an estimate. It's about 350 miles. You're looking at about $1,400 each way. So if I had CNC do it, you're looking at about 12 grand plus another almost 3 for just to ship the machine, and then you could figure labor. I mean, labor could be another 5 or 6. So you're looking at, 12, 15, that could be $22, $23, $24,000. Would I love to have new tracks in that? Yes, absolutely. So then another shout out, Dirt Sculpting LLC. He said, look, he's like, I suggest just getting new pads. With the rocky and hilly terrain, they can be swapped out in the future when the chain needs to be replaced. And there again, if I'm going to pay for the labor and that, I might as well get the whole new chains and the new pads. Not that I wouldn't want just the new pads, but then you need all the new bolts and I guess sprockets as well. I'm not an expert on this stuff, so I'm going by what people are telling me. I did get a hold of the owner of the business, which you're going to see next, but that led me to another option of weld-on pads. And somebody here, let me see in the comments, Mikey Dunn says they do have welded on cleats. A couple of years ago, it took quite a bit of welding, the Jackson brothers, and then there was someone else mentioned weld on cleats here also. Ice Hog 1970 mentioned it. So that led me to this site we're going to go look at right now, DuraTough. So they make special weld-on cleats, and if you look at this picture right here, well, first of all, this is what the track originally looked like. You see how tall them cleats are, or them grousers. They're at least 1.5 inches, but they're built into each of these pads. This pad with these 4 bolts, that's one pad. So if you take a look at our machine, I got some snapshots here. Let me find them quick. I just pulled these off of the last video. These are severely worn, but I think it's still doable. So you can see here, right here, this is where the original grouser stood up, anywhere up to 2 inches right here on this thing. So that's how worn they are. So now with that being said, and they're also shaped funny, I'm gonna show you. So you look at here, they also have a little bit of wear on the edges and that, which comes into play when ordering them, but it's gonna be kind of irrelevant. So if you go to DuraTough, now I actually emailed with the owner of this. That's how we got to our final decision. So here's the shapes that you can order the new grousers. If you got wear, like this curved bar here, ours is curved that way, but this forged bar also has more damage on the outer edge. Otherwise, then you got straight and beveled. So I was going through with one of their ordering people on, okay, what size is best. So let me show you the sizes. You take your measurements and you make your selection guide. So this is what I want to show you here, the sizing. So here's the sizing of these grousers. So I was looking at this number 6 bar, which is the smallest one, and the height on that is 1 1/16, okay, and it's 5/8 width. But then the gal I was talking to said, hey, your machine at John Deere has squares on it. I'm like, okay, so let me find the squares. Give me a sec. Okay, so she got with the boss and said, hey, with as worn out as your tracks are, he's recommending these hex, okay? These are 3/4 inch hex. So the beveled bottom here gives room for the actual weld, as you've seen on the first picture. I'll show you that quick. But these are only gonna be 3/4 inches tall, so that because there's less steel to bite into, because my tracks are so worn, that the owner's recommending these. So we're taking his recommendation, and they offered us, we did get a 20% discount. So I told them we're gonna do the whole project on one of our channels. So that's good. Let me show you the weld here though. So see these beveled bottoms here? That's for the weld. I'll show you that picture once again of what it should look like. So let me here's the picture of what it should look like. You could see that some of these grousers could be over 2 inches tall. I mean, look at this one right here that they have on here. So since we are so worn, I mean, yeah, this kind of Hail Mary to the end zone, but Phil is willing to do it in exchange for paying me. So I got them ordered. They're 22 inches because, again, so my machine calls for 20-inch pads, but somebody put an aftermarket on a dozer track that's 22 inches, which is good. It's better traction. But anyway, so I ordered the longer grousers. They're 22 inches. We're going to do that hex. The total cost, I had to pay extra to have it shipped to a residence. But the total cost was about $866 when it was all said and done. Now, if the welding goes good, you know, Phil's going to invest in the welder instead of paying me. So it's kind of a win-win. That's how we barter. You know, the welder is going to be probably between $2,000 and $4,000. He's going to get a good MIG welder. But then he can use that for other projects also. So instead of paying me, we're not going to receive any money on it, but we'll only be out of pocket probably the $860, unless the welding supplies get too high. Then we'll figure it out. We'll probably split it. But even if it gets me a year, we're going to be way money ahead. It's going to get me better traction. It ain't going to be like brand new, but considering how bald they are, it's going to get me better traction. So I'll be able to move dirt faster. The traction on rock will be better also. And then worst case is if one of the welds fails and the track breaks, well, then it's time for new tracks all around. So, and if it gets me a couple of years, then we're definitely going to be way money ahead. So that's the plan. Appreciate all you guys' input out there. Would I love to have a new set of tracks? Yes. Do I have a business that I could rely on here in our area that I feel confident with? No, honestly I don't, because it's you need a real, like I was working with Heritage Tractor, you know, it's a John Deere dealer, and so yeah, they do dozers and high lifters, but they do planters and tractors and that, and in talking to them, this is not a very replacing the pads and tracks is not a routine thing for them. So that could have caused the labor to go slower. It's 175 an hour, and it don't matter how fast or slow they go. So I think it'll work. I have incredible confidence in Phil's welding skills. I've seen him weld. Man, he can really weld. So if anyone could do it, I think he will. Oh, and the owner, when he replied to me specifically, he recommended, let me see if I can find it. Big shout out. The owner replied to me specifically and said, hey, this is why I don't recommend. He's like, even Cat, which I assume Cat will let you get away with the most wear. They don't even recommend that being groused, that being that warm, but we're going to try it anyways. So he recommended a 3/4 hex bar, so you're not too tall. But he also sent me a welding guide, which is going to help Phil out. I'm not a welder. I got a buzz box. I know how to do that. That's the end of it. So it talks to you about suggestions for welding and prep and all that, and a temperature, you know, while you're welding. Try not to get it too hot. All you welders will know this. He talks to you about how to kind of stitch it and start it first. And so, yeah, this is as good as guidance as we're going to get on this for now. Wish I could have that look, but hey, for $22,000 right now, it's just not worth it. So that's today's update. We're locked down after the big snowstorm. The high today was only 18, I think, or 20. But hopefully, our plan is, I got these ordered. Our plan is to shift welding these on ahead of finishing Phil's projects, so that when I go to do his ponds and the more trails, I got better traction. And besides, this snow is going to be around now for at least a couple weeks before it starts to melt off, because we got another cold snap coming next weekend. All right, I'm rambling, but hey, thanks for joining us. Appreciate all you guys and gals out there. Take care.